Now, you may be asking yourself, why are we making this weird thing we can't even eat yet? And why won't you shut up about it? Well, that's because the sauerkraut you're making will be an ingredient in next week's recipe, and it takes about a week to make. And I'm not shutting up about it because it turns out sauerkraut is really good for you. Thought to have originated in China more than 2,000 years ago, sauerkraut has become a popular side dish and is one of the best known national dishes in Germany. And it turns out it's really good for you. Like seriously, really good for you. So what is sauerkraut? Well, sauerkraut is a finely cut raw cabbage that has been fermented by lactic acid bacteria and ends up with this distinctive sour flavor and a really long shelf life. As a matter of fact, the long shelf life is why sauerkraut was made in the first place. See, long before freezers and refrigerators, people had to get creative when it came to preserving their food. And fermentation was a great way to make your food last much longer, as well as making it much healthier in some instances. So before we get into the benefits of sauerkraut, there's a few terms I want to make sure you know. These are fermentation, probiotics, and gut. Fermentation is defined as a chemical breakdown of a substance by bacteria, yeasts, or other microorganisms, typically involving effervescence or heat. So basically, little tiny microorganisms on the cabbage digest its natural sugars and convert them to carbon dioxide, the same bubbles that are in your soda, which is why we're actually going to have to burp our sauerkraut every day until we use it, because the pressure created by the CO2 bubbles can literally cause this jar to explode if the pressure isn't released. According to the Cleveland Clinic, probiotics are made of good live bacteria and or yeasts that naturally live in your body. You constantly have both good and bad bacteria in your body. When you get an infection, there's more bad bacteria knocking your system out of balance. Good bacteria helps eliminate extra bad bacteria, returning the balance. The Cleveland Clinic also goes on to say, probiotics are made up of good bacteria that helps keep your body healthy and working well. So when I say gut, I'm referring to your gastrointestinal system, which contains all the major organs of your digestive system, including your esophagus, stomach, and intestines, or basically everything in your body, starting from where food goes in to where food comes out. So what are some of the health benefits of sauerkraut? Well, sauerkraut can help reduce stress and maintain brain health. Fermented probiotic foods, such as sauerkraut, contribute to the creation of a healthy gut, which research shows may help reduce stress and maintain brain health. Think of it this way. Have you ever felt the feeling of butterflies in your stomach when you were nervous? Or has your stomach ever hurt when you were really stressed or worried about something? That's because your brain and your gastrointestinal systems are actually connected to each other by something called the gut-brain axis. And the craziest thing is that the gut-brain axis works both ways. So just like nervousness and stress and the things in your brain can affect what's going on in your stomach, the things in your stomach can affect what's going on in your brain. Which means that the things you eat have a direct effect on your nervous system, cognitive function, and mood. Additionally, the probiotics found in sauerkraut have been found to help improve memory and reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. Sauerkraut can also improve your digestion. The probiotic bacteria found in sauerkraut helps break down the food you've eaten, making your number twos, which are a very important part of your health, healthy. And a particular bacterial strain in sauerkraut called Lactobacillus plantarum has been shown to be particularly effective in treating certain digestive disorders like IBS, more commonly known as irritable bowel syndrome. Sauerkraut also boosts your immune system. See, sauerkraut delivers live probiotic bacteria directly to your gut, and because about 70% of your immune system cells reside in your gut, the delivery of good probiotics by eating sauerkraut helps nourish your healthy gut bacteria. Sauerkraut is also rich in vitamin C and iron, both of which contribute to a strong immune system. Sauerkraut is also very nutritious. Due to the fermentation process sauerkraut goes through, it offers so much more in the way of nutrition and health benefits than plain raw cabbage. Sauerkraut is rich in fiber, vitamin C, iron, and vitamin B6, among others. The probiotics in sauerkraut actually help your body absorb these nutrients more easily, helping keep your gut and the rest of your body in good working order. And sauerkraut keeps you fuller longer. Sauerkraut, like many vegetables, is low in calories and high in fiber, and high fiber diets have been shown to keep you fuller longer. Now, I know this week's recipe is way different than anything we've done before, but our goal at the Tucson Family Food Project isn't only to provide you with food and kitchen skills, but also to teach you about the foods you eat and how they affect your health. Because at the end of the day, food is medicine, and it affects just about every aspect of your life. This summer, we're actually going to be doing a series of videos about gut health and the mind-blowing topic of your microbiome. Now for the part where we actually make the dish. Literally all you have to do to make your sauerkraut is put it in a nice big bowl and pour the salt over all of it. And now you're gonna squeeze your cabbage as hard as you can. And this is gonna release all of the moisture that is in the cabbage. And that is gonna be what we ferment the cabbage in. Now you wanna just smash this up as much as possible. It's literally impossible to overdo. Even if you have something in your kitchen that'll help you smash this, go ahead and use it. And you're gonna keep doing this until it gets all nice and juicy. Now when you're done, your cabbage should look something like this, nice and juicy. And all we're gonna do is put all of this into our jar. Mash it down as much as you can, even while it's in the jar. And the very last thing we're gonna do is add some regular room temperature water to the jar until it's all filled up. And just put on your lid and leave this at room temperature for 1 day. At the end of 1 day, we're gonna burp it by just popping the lid and releasing the pressure. Look, you can already see the bubbles developing from the CO2. And don't forget to burp this because it will explode. I hope you enjoyed the process of making sauerkraut and that you learned something about your own health and well-being. I know sauerkraut isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I promise you it's gonna taste delicious with next week's recipe. And please, don't forget to burp your sauerkraut babies every day. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week when we actually use the sauerkraut in a dish. So until then, peace.